Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we're looking at X Factor by Peter David Volume 3 Omnibus. And this is just a quick overview. I'm not probably going to talk about the story because, well, it's been a long time since I've read this story, even though it's one of my favorite runs. In fact, it is my favorite run of X Factor. I haven't read it for quite a while, so I'm eagerly awaiting for when Volume 4 is released at some point, because then I'm just going to binge read all of this. Now, as much as I Peter David deserves great love for his runs on X Factor, the sort of control freak completist in me would have still preferred they started with X Factor Volume 1, which is the original series. And I guess if we work out the mapping so far, this would be Volume 3. And in between this, you would have, I can't remember whose run it is, the run with the likes of Sabretooth, Wildchild, Forge, that X Factor in between that. And then this, they probably will just release a volume that you can sit in between, but it's not going to be, it's going to stand out because you got Volume 1, Volume 2 down there. So just a minor gripe from me, as much as I'm loving having this finally in omnibus form, because I did sell my hardbacks a few years ago. I parted with them, and it was probably a very difficult decision at the time, but in hindsight, I'm glad I made that decision when I did, because I made some decent money out of it. So anyway, we have this cover, and this period probably wasn't my favorite period. I didn't like Alex and Lorna being there, Wolverine's sort of interference with X Factor investigations, because for all of Cyclops' flaws, etc., he always never interfered with, even though him and Jamie butted heads, which I loved, it was great, he never interfered like Wolverine did. He never said Alex and Lorna are going to be in charge, if I remember it right. But it's a great cast of characters. You got Wolfsbane back at this point as well. You got Rictor, and you've got Shatterstar, Strong Guy Longshot. Layla Miller's back as well. Monette, I was going to say that Layla Miller's back a little bit later, but clearly I could not retain myself. So if we move it to the side, there you go. You can see all three spines, which look great together. Let me just shift these out of the way a little bit. There we go. I've actually got a slight little deviation with my camera at the moment, so it's a little bit different. Now, I brought this from Forbidden Planet. It hasn't come in perfectly. You can see up there I've got some damage, so I do have to go through that painful part of sending it back. So this collects X Factor 2005 issue 40 to 50, and then it jumps back to normal numbering of 200 to 232, which once again bugs me. Why wouldn't you have just numbered them, carried it on, if that's what you wanted? I hate this. It's like X-Men at the moment. You know, we've got Jerry Dugan's run. We're going to finish on 35 issues, but that 35 issues particular ends in issue 700 of Uncanny X-Men. So they go back and recognize, why wouldn't you have just carried on the Uncanny run? Seriously, Marvel. You know, complete this. You know, we don't look at, oh, we're at issue 7, because we're not in reality. You've got multiple X-Men series that have been released. So, and sorry, once again, a little bit of gripe. And then you've got 224.1 Nation X Factor 1, which, if I remember rightly, does that feed into the Second Coming story, I'm going to say? Actually, no, maybe it's not. Is it? No, maybe that's just before. So that is, if I do mess in my head really quickly, 44 issues if I have done my maths correctly, which I always feel is a nice size for an omnibus. So this is written by Peter David, obviously. Illustrations by Valentino D. Landro, Marco Sangiucci, B. Cancino, Kurt Malone, Sebastian Ema, Paul, Dennis, yeah, and Lena Kick. I'm sorry, I got bored there. And plus, I feel like if I'm talking about, I feel like, wow, this is going to be the most boring part of this whole review. So, I'm trying to take the dust cover off, if I can. Come on. There we go. Right, so we got the dust cover off, and the dust cover has synthesis this side, creators this side. There we go. And on the back, we have that beautiful round piece like so. That's like that, and that looks stunning. I did like that back in the day. Why couldn't they have just done that on it? There is another cover, if I remember rightly. It's weird. There's the A cover, which I probably perhaps would have liked. And then there was this cover. This is, I think, the direct market cover, if I remember correctly, what I've ordered. I usually go for direct market covers. Sometimes I don't. If I feel like why is Wolverine on another cover, then I will try to deliberately avoid it. But I did go with the direct market cover because I wanted to keep it the same throughout. All right, this may be a bit hit and miss. There we go. Yeah, it really irritates me going back to the number to feel like they've achieved something, but you know, why? So yeah, X Factor, like I said, one of my runs. Did it lose its way? I'm not sure it did lose its way. I felt like it kept its whole thing all the way through. Like I said, we have the return of Dale and Miller. Darwin goes a bit weird, if I remember rightly, and tries to kill Wolfsbane's child. That's not funny, by the way. But which is a bit weird. And you get, is this the bit with? Yeah, this is Nation X. So this is the bit you get Longshot and Dazzler reunion. So yeah, so it's not that second come-in story. Sorry, that was a bit crisp. I'm trying to think what else happens. Probably lots of fun stuff. Like I said, later Miller comes back from the future, which is great, and then her and Jamie form a relationship. And if I remember rightly, isn't there a story where Jamie Madrox keeps dying or something? And I think Jamie goes a bit off boil, if I remember rightly. Oh, we got the Vegas story in there. Very cool. Try to remember it all. There we go. And then I think Darwin, I guess, eventually leads looking at that. And is that, maybe that's the bit where he goes off on this hunt for Wolfsbane's child, etc. But yeah, very, very, very excited to read this game. Some of it's coming back to me, some of it's not coming back to me at all. But yeah, I think there's some hard stuff for Wolfsbane, if I remember correctly. Which is great. I just love the characters in there. It was just so well written. Peter's a masterclass act when it comes to writing characters, but it was just like a mismatch of characters, etc. There we go, Wolverine back. Oof. Wolverine was everywhere. It's quite annoying. As much as I love Wolverine, I love mysterious Wolverine, but Marvel at this period in time were using him in every single thing for probably about 5 to 10 years. They overused him, and even when they killed him, I say this all the time, even when they killed him, sorry, I know this is the X Factor overview, but even when they killed Wolverine in the comics, they decided to throw Old Man Logan in there. Why? If you're going to kill a character, don't bring in one that is basically the same. Like Jamie Madrox. So yeah, sorry, I always go back to that because that bugged the hell out of me. So anyway, so romance, and then we are finished. And then look at this. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. I always intended to, this is a bit, so this is just after Avengers versus X-Men, and, you know, this is where this all stems from. In fact, I don't think we actually saw Lorna and Alex in this at all, did we? Did we? No. Strange. So some character designs, character info, which is very cool. In fact, I think it's got pretty much the whole cast. So I'm hoping it takes it all the way up to this point in the storyline for those who perhaps haven't read these characters. But if you're buying this book, you are probably already interested in X Factor. And you got this nice thing, 200 cover gallery. I do like that. No to the Factor X. So some insights. Must have been an interview. Ooh, oh my goodness. It's just gone downhill, people. It's just gone downhill. Some sketches. Oh my goodness, there's some nice extras in here. What they were trying to achieve with these scenes. Oh, I liked Pip in this. Pip was very cool. And then he disappeared. He left. I was a bit gutted by that, because generally I didn't like him. I thought there was a hidden agenda, which I feel like there was. But then I feel like he became part of the team properly. Like I said, I haven't read this for a long time. But yeah, Pip was very cool. So anyway, there is my quick overview of X Factor Volume 3. And let me know if you're picking this up. It's... for me, it's my favorite X Factor series of all time. I like this better than the original. I like this better than X Factor. Jamie's investigations was brilliant. It was on point all the way through. So very happy to have this, although I've got to try and get a replacement because mine came damaged, unfortunately. Sometimes it happens. But I wanted to get this overview out. So I hope you liked my video. If you do, please support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Thank you to those already subscribed to my channel. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.